Here, you look like you haven't ate today. Granny always takes care of her grandkids. Welcome back to Granny's kitchen. Look at me. We're making chicken and dumplings. You can always start by buying a whole chicken and roasting it at home, but in a pinch, or if you just want to make it simple, a rotisserie chicken is going to work just fine. We're going to start by breaking that down and leaving the bones and scraps. You're going to have a breastbone that runs down right here. This is the chicken breast. This is where the head of the chicken would be. Here's your legs. Instead of just trying to pull and pick and pull your chicken breast apart, find the bottom of your breast and you'll feel that breastbone. Just take your fingers, push into that breastbone, slide your fingers in behind that meat. Just push your fingers and you'll separate that entire breast in one big nice piece. And then you flip it over and here is your tenderloin. Granny won. Now that we have all the meat removed from our carcass, we're gonna go ahead and roast this in the oven just to add a little bit of flavor. The best part about it is you get a free snack while you're waiting on the oven to preheat. If you're cooler than the cool side of a pillow like Granny is, you save all your veggie scraps for when you're making broth. So in here already, we have a few onion scraps. We're gonna throw in a few more. Also some whole onions that I just cubed up. Doesn't matter. You're just putting the flavor in the stock. All of this is gonna come out in the end. Then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic and then a sprig of parsley. These are freezer scraps. Every single time you prep a vegetable in your kitchen, you should be saving what you trim off and throw in the trash and put it in your freezer. The reason groceries are so expensive is because you don't use them correctly. Now simply add in your chicken carcass. I promise you, you can do this. Aw, look how cute you are down there. Add some water until we top those ingredients. Looks like Granny made a mess. We're gonna place the lid back on this and put that on a low medium heat for 1 to 3 hours. Toss this on the stove and bring it up to a boil. And no, I don't mean the kind with horns. Usually within about the first hour, maybe 2 hours, I like to skim that top off. She's coming along nicely. Now Granny's gonna do her best to pour this without spilling it all over the counter. We're gonna move on to the dumplings, and that starts with the flour, baking powder, some salt, and
2.4 million crates
of black pepper, and some garlic, and finally, some parsley. Now combine all those dry ingredients, and then we'll add our milk, and now we're gonna cut in our cold butter, and then we combine that together. Now here's where you've gotta make a choice. You can either roll these out and cut them into tiny squares, or you can use drop dumplings. I personally prefer the drop dumplings because they're thicker and you get a fluffier dumpling. But if you like the rolled out style, do those instead. Now we're gonna start by making a simple roux with 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour. While whisking constantly, I'm gonna add in my heavy cream. While continuing to whisk, we wanna slowly add in our broth. Now, if you're not making your own broth, you would just use store-bought in this step and you skip pretty much the first half of this video. But we're glad you're here. Once it looks delicious like this, we're gonna return that to the heat and bring it up to a simmer. Once that comes to a simmer, follow me over to the stove and we'll show you what's next. All right, now wet hands are gonna be your friend in this part. Take your spoon, pull up a small portion of that dough, and then use your wet hand to form a rough ball. They don't have to be perfect. And then you're gonna slowly lower those down into your simmering broth. The bigger you make your dumplings, the longer they need to cook. And you just wanna make sure that as you're lowering these down into your broth, that you're not dropping them directly on top of the other dumplings. Once they start to cook a little bit and kind of firm up, it's fine. In their very first initial stages of cooking, they will break apart. And this is a time-consuming process, so just be patient and hang in there. I promise you the end result's worth it. When the surface of the broth starts getting full like this, you don't want to stir the pot. You just want to take the back of a spoon or spatula, whatever you have handy, and just kind of push them down under the broth. Now, once those have had a few minutes to set, we're going to add in any vegetables we like. I'm going to keep it simple and just go with a diced onion. Then we're going to add that chicken back in from earlier. And remember, we don't stir. Now we're gonna return that lid and let those simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. You know they're done when you can pull one out and throw it against the wall and it sticks. I'm kidding, don't do that. And there you have it, chicken and dumplings, just like Grandma used to make. They're pretty good.